khusus yaitu CEO Talks atau CTalks, di mana kita akan mengupas mengenai strategi para emiten di kala COVID-19 ini, apa yang mereka lakukan dan bagaimana peluang emiten ini di kala pandemi COVID-19. Dan tentunya kembali hadir bersama teman-teman Cuan Troopers, saya Bernadus Wijaya, dan saya akan menemani teman-teman semua selama 1 jam yang akan datang. Akan tapi sebelum kita kedatangan bintang tamu yang luar biasa langsung dari Korea diimport, yaitu Pak Victor Choi selaku Direktur dari INOV, kali ini kita akan update market terlebih dahulu berkaitan tentang kondisi market hari ini, di mana IHSG hari ini lumayan terkoreksi. Kita akan lihat chartnya IHSG pada hari ini. Nah teman-teman, hari ini IHSG terkoreksi sebesar 1,18%, di mana IHSG ini masuk ke support 5100-nya. Dan seperti kita ketahui, IHSG 2 hari ini menguji resisten yaitu MA50 di 5147. Buat teman-teman Cuan Troopers tentunya yang udah ada di Telegram channel Sucor Sekuritas, pasti udah tahu ya, kita udah ingatkan berkali-kali 5147 ini merupakan titik kritis. Dan hari ini gagal tembus lagi di bawah 5147, dan kita bisa melihat bahwa 5147 ini merupakan resisten kuat untuk IHSG untuk saat ini. Dan bagaimana dengan support IHSG sendiri? Support IHSG dalam jangka pendek, dia akan menguji angka 5000 terlebih dahulu, di mana dia 2 kali ada pantulan di sini, sebelum nanti akan menguji selanjutnya adalah MA100 di 4945. Dan tentunya untuk para trader, hal ini merupakan sign bahwa kita harus berhati-hati karena kondisi market masih fluktuatif, dan juga di kuartal 3 ini banyak pengumuman yang dinanti-nantikan. Apa saja pengumumannya? Pengumumannya kemarin baru saja berkait tentang PSBB, bagaimana kelanjutan PSBB ini 2 minggu ini masih akan kita kaji bagaimana peluang IHSG di tengah PSBB yang kembali diberlakukan. Dan tentunya banyak data ekonomi lainnya yang ditunggu-tunggu berkaitan tentang pertama, hari ini trade balance, kemudian nanti ada suku bunga, kemudian pengumuman GDP Q3 yang tentunya sangat diantisipasi oleh para investor, PMI Index hingga pemilu Amerika Serikat di bulan November 2020 ini yang tentunya dinanti-nanti para investor. Sehingga saat ini kecenderungan IHSG akan bergerak sangat sideways, di mana saya perkirakan sideways-nya itu antara MA100 sampai MA50, di mana MA100 itu di antara 4945 itu menjadi support, dan resisten di MA50 yaitu ada di angka 5147. Ingat 2 angka itu. Tetapi sebelum kita lanjut masalah trader, karena nanti di Talks kita ada hari Jumat yang tentunya bintang tamunya luar biasa banget, yang gak akan disangka-sangka teman-teman yang merupakan CEO dari emiten tapi juga merupakan seorang trader. Malam hari ini kita kedatangan bintang tamu yang luar biasa, yaitu PT Inocycle Technology Group atau emitennya yang disebut dengan INOV. Dan topik pada malam hari ini kita akan berdiskusi seputar investing for the future. Kenapa begini? Karena emiten ini merupakan emiten yang sangat ramah lingkungan. Nah sebelumnya saya akan bacakan terlebih dahulu deskripsi dari PT INOV ini sendiri sebelum kita panggilkan bintang tamu yang kita impor dari Korea, yaitu Pak Victor Choi. Nah, PT Inocycle Technology Group atau INOV itu didirikan tanggal 17 Juli 2011 dengan nama PT Hillenfeld. Dan kemudian di tanggal 10 Juli 2019, Inocycle establish atau listing di bursa menjadi perusahaan plastik pertama yang menerapkan recycle strategi under ticker number INOV. Nah, INOV ini merupakan perusahaan clean tech company yang berfokus kepada processing dan recycling dari PET, bottles, dan sampah-sampah plastik lainnya. Dan tentunya INOV juga memproduksi produk non-woven dan homeware products yang terintegrated dengan PSF produk. Dan tentunya buat teman-teman yang malam hari ini hadir, jangan kemana-mana karena akan mendapatkan 3 bantal khusus dari PT Inocycle atau INOV. Dan kemudian di tahun 2019, INOV mendapatkan sertifikasi bertitle Global Recycle Standard. Dan baru-baru ini di bulan Juli 2020, INOV sukses mendapatkan sertifikasi dari ESG. Nah, banyak fund-fund yang masih akan datang itu menggalakkan ESG atau Environment, Social, and Governance. Dan di dalam tahun pertama listingnya sebagai public company, INOV mendesain untuk membagi dividen payout ratio sebesar 59,89% yang luar biasa besar, dan net profit dari tahun 2019 untuk PT INOV ini sebesar 13,5 miliar atau 7,5 per share, yang dividennya lumayan besar yang dibagikan kepada shareholder. Dan selanjutnya saya juga akan memperkenalkan pembicara kita yang luar biasa kece ini, yaitu Pak Victor Choi yang masih berusia 44 tahun, di mana beliau ini memiliki riwayat pendidikan dengan Bachelor of Commerce di Sydney di tahun 99 dan juga Master of Commerce dari Macquarie University di tahun 2001. Dan tentunya beliau ini juga memiliki jabatan sebagai auditor PwC di tahun 2000 sampai 2003, kemudian Direktur Utama PT Inocycle di tahun 2003 sampai sekarang, dan saat ini juga mendapatkan atau menjabat sebagai Direktur PT Inocycle atau INOV. Nggak berlama-lama lagi, kita akan langsung saja panggilkan bintang tamu kali ini kepada. Ya, halo Pak Victor, how are you? I'm good, how about
Very
you?
Very good, thank you.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Thank you for having me.
Say hi
It's
to
good
Pak
to see you again.
Yes, of course. Yes, we are so happy today because we have a speaker that imported from Korea. That is you, Pak Victor Choi. Nah, actually today we would like to know about INOV history and why INOV was established in Indonesia to help recycling the plastic wastage in Indonesia. Can you tell us briefly about INOV establishment or history about INOV?
Sure. Thank you, Bernard, for the great introduction for our company. INOV is actually a subsidiary of a Hylon Group. We have been in the industry for more than 50 years. We started the business from Korea. In Indonesia, we started the first non-woven factory in 1989. So this is basically bit more than 31 years now. Inocycle was born in 2001 as a subsidiary of Hylon Group, mainly producing insulation products called Hylon under the name of Hylon Felt. So in 2010, we started recycled polyester staple fiber. So I brought a sample of the product. That's actually coming from PET bottle to the flakes. I don't know whether viewers can see.
Yes, we can see.
Turns it into a fluffy recycled polyester fiber that can be used in many different industries. So currently we are running 3 fiber plants in Solo, Tangerang, and Mojokerto in Jawa Timur. Medan is on the pipeline, and we also do downstream products in Salatiga, and also Medan woven plant as well. That's a short version of our introduction of the company.
Wow. So actually, what is the business model of the INOV company, and how INOV can get the revenue from the selling products or something? Maybe you can tell us briefly. Yes,
sure.
Hello, Mr. Victor.
Yeah, the connection wasn't so good. Our business model is basically we want to localize our supply chain in many different cities in Indonesia. It is quite a shame that Indonesia is renowned to be number 2 ocean plastic polluter in the world. Number 1 is China, and number 2 is Indonesia. So basically, what we want to do is we turn waste into more valuable raw materials for the key industries in Indonesia, including soft furnishing, stuffed toys, automotive insulation, geotextile for construction, also in a winter jacket, padding jacket. So it's all coming from the PET bottle, waste products, goes all the way down to the downstream of these key industries in Indonesia, manufacturing industries. And what we are focusing currently is a fully integrated supply chain and value chain company. So not only in the bigger cities, but we are trying to focus on the remote cities as well, not only in Java, but in Sumatra as well as Sulawesi and other cities as well. Bernard?
Yes, yes, sorry, your connection is not really good, but we already really clear that your business model is to recycle the plastic to be the many product, right? Like automotive and another product. And so the business model is more likely to be B2B, is it? Not B2C?
Well, we mostly it's B2B, but we also have an arm that's producing homeware products, such as pillows, and duvet and mattress products that we produce in Salatiga and Palembang, and in the future we'll be producing in Medan as well. So we do B2C as well as B2B.
Okay, so for the B2B product, in which company you distribute your product? How did you distribute the product in B2B, and what's your client?
Well, in terms of B2B, from PET bottle that recycled polyester staple fiber, about 50% we export to the States, US, and also different countries. So they also process the staple fiber into many different products as well. And also we supply recycled polyester staple fiber to many toy manufacturers, which are very strong in Indonesia. And also we make into different types of insulation products, as I mentioned, in a different industry such as automotive and construction as well. And also to do with the B2C. And Hylon Group has about 20 locations in Indonesia, from Sumatra all the way down to Java, East Java, all the way down to Bali. We have all the sales force in localized sales force, as well as a warehouse and manufacturing plants. That is giving a strong synergy to grow INOV business.
Okay, so for B2B business, how many percentage that is export to other country and distribute localized?
I would say about 40 to 50% we export.
Okay, 40 to 50% we export to another country such as America, China, and etc. And another 50% is Indonesia.
That's right. And also we consume a large portion of Hylon Group is actually processing re-PSF into more value-added products.
Okay, that's great. So about the comparison between B2B and B2C is about 70 to 30%, or how many?
I would say B2C would be less than 20%. 80% would be B2B.
Okay, 80% B2B and 20% B2C. Now, we are also interested to know more about the B2C business of Inocycle. From that, you are saying that the product of your company is like bantal or pillow, and another product that can be used by the end of customer. But we would like to know as well how you distribute the product to the consumer. It is via online, or maybe it is using like distributor or partner like S Hardware and others?
In terms of B2B, we are utilizing our network of Hylon Group network in every medium to large cities in 20 different locations.
Yeah.
Of course, in B2B, sometimes we use distribution channel like agents and distributors. But what is really helping us is we can minimize the logistic cost by utilizing our warehouses and manufacturing base that we have invested heavily in different cities. That's the strength that INOV has. But in terms of B2C, of course, online is that's B2C online products is quite strong, especially during Corona time. People spending more time at home. They like to spend more on the furniture and bedding products, and demand has been quite strong. So we do also online under the brand of Pillow People, but that's around, I would say, 10 to 20% that we actually in terms of the revenue.
Okay, so what's your plan in the future? Are you focusing on B2B or will be enlarge the market for the B2C business?
I mean, Hylon Group as well as Inocycle has been focusing on B2B. That's our DNA. So of course, we are doing our own branding in terms of consumable products, but our main focus would be B2B.
Okay, sure, well noted. Okay, I'm also curious, Mr. Victor, about the reason for establishing INOV as a company that put concern about our environment. What are the reasons for establishing INOV for environment reason?
In terms of environment, Bernard?
Yes. What's the reason you are establishing INOV as a company that put concerns about our environment?
Well, I mean, Indonesia has been strong. Backbone industry has been mining, agriculture, and everything. But
yes.
I think plastic waste has been somewhat neglected. Whereas our consumption of drinkable PET bottles is as big as what US is consuming, which their GDP is much larger than Indonesia. So when you look at Indonesia as a country where consuming water bottles, we are producing immense amount of waste. So what we are looking at as there's an infinite number of bottle wastes coming out. But what we need to focus is, in order to be competitive, we need to be at each different cities in Indonesia. So we can collect them more efficiently and more cost effectively. We can turn it into more value-added products. I think currently Indonesia, according to the numbers of Ministry of Environment, we are only recycling about 10 to 15% of waste, which is still, we have a huge upside to increase our capacity especially in the smaller cities where demand is not established. That's where we are concentrating. So we are preventing all the plastic waste is going through river stream, hence it becomes an ocean plastic problem. We can actually turn that into more valuable raw materials and employing more employees. We turn it into more export driven products. And Inocycle has been one of the key manufacturer of the highest grade of recycled products that can compete against the virgin grade polyester fiber. So we are quite proud of that.
Wow. And your company or INOV is already get the license of ESG, right? So it will be helpful in the future for the fund that would like to invest in ESG product to invest in your company as well.
I hope so.
And also, I'm also curious about number of bottles that INOV save for recycle. How many plastic bottles that INOV already save or recycle in every year?
Well, I don't count it every single bottles, but when we calculate the back, we are looking at about more than 2 billion bottles.
Wow.
That equates up to around 3 million kilograms. So we are contributing quite a bit.
So it's very good, yeah, to contribute to save our environment, Indonesia, to be free from sampah.
Yeah, I think the supply chain here is very important. Indonesia is still heavily relying on the more traditional way of collection,
Yeah.
aggregating, which also involves in child labor as well as modern slavery. We try to mitigate that into a more modernized and digitized supply chain as well. And also at Inocycle level, we are trying to establish more in a smaller cities that the bottle doesn't really have to travel far. So in order to reduce the carbon footprint of
Wow,
in
wow,
terms of
that's good.
logistics. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's the focus on the INOV for current year and the next following years?
Well, I'm sure it's been tough for everybody during
Yeah,
pandemic crisis. Sadly, Indonesia has lost a lot of people. Infection is not reducing, and also it's actually affecting us quite a bit in terms of less traffic. That is causing difficulties in terms of collecting the bottles, to be honest. But I see it as also a great opportunities. So in terms of expanding the market share, where we are trying to invest more in like, as I said before, Medan and Makassar is in the pipeline. So we are focusing heavily on in terms of supply chain. And in terms of this year, we are looking at in terms of the top line is quite solid. But our competition is actually the virgin plastic that is basically coming from the petroleum-based plastic. So because of the oil price has been weakened for quite some time, the virgin plastic price has come down dramatically. So our margin has been squeezed for this year. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to increase the market share. But
okay. So you,
I think in terms of the demand also for especially for, as I said before, home furnishing and furniture industry, that has shown a great demand. I think it's to do with the work from home culture now. People start to spend more money on a home furnishing. So we are experiencing great demand in that industry, but in terms of the margin, we're a bit tight.
okay. So, what's your target for the top line and bottom line for this year comparing to 2019?
Well, it's a tough question right now, but I'm sure you can see. Many viewers can download our financial performance in our website, but we've experiencing in the first half, our revenue has been equivalent to the last year's. I expect it to grow much stronger in terms of top line this year, rest of the year, which I have seen in the August and especially August and July, September. I think consumer spending has increased, especially for the home furnishing, as I said. But I think bottom line will be very tight due to we are competing against the virgin plastics. But I believe we will be in line with our strategy.
Yes, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, all of the pipeline that already planned by INOV will be going well in the next year as well, and the next following years after this COVID coming. And anyway, how about the strategy of your company during this pandemic? Do you like doing like operational efficiency, or what kind of activity that INOV management do during this pandemic COVID to maintain the stability of top line and to decrease the operational costs?
Well, like every other companies currently, we are focusing on restructuring. And also we are looking into reducing the logistics costs. So, and also, as I mentioned before, this is actually a great time to increase our presence in terms of supply chain, as well as increase our market share. So we are, and as I said before, in the Medan factory, we'll be running next year, 2021,
Okay.
most probably second quarter or to Q3. That will be fully integrated recycle factory from the PET bottles, washing, crushing, and then we extrude to the fiber, and as well as we'll be producing non-woven products. So that has been a focus in terms of during pandemic time.
Wow, that's great. Hopefully, the expansion will be executed well in the next year, and the Medan will produce a lot of product for INOV. And currently, we are opening question from our audience today that coming to Sucor Sekuritas. And all of you atau semua dari kalian akan mendapatkan bantal or pillow from Mr. Victor Choi. Can you show me the sample of the pillow? Mr.
I don't
Victor?
have it with me at the
Oh,
moment,
you don't have
sorry.
it. Yeah, it's okay.
But you can check on the Tokopedia. There's a brand called Pillow People.
Wow. So for three people, we will give you the pillow from Inocycle,
And that is 100% recycled from the PET bottles. So
yes.
the viewers know, and they can be proud when they go to sleep.
Sure. Okay. We have one question from mj.puput. It's a good question. I want to know about your pricing. I think your product cost is not cheap because you invested in high tech to recycle plastic. How your company can compete with other companies that don't use recycle technology? It's a good question.
Very good question indeed. I think a lot of recyclers are going through a very, very tough time currently because virgin plastic, fossil fuel based, has never been this cheap, which is quite sad. And we need more public awareness and global companies' initiative to push more recycled products. Otherwise, without the public awareness, it's a bit difficult. But our INOV strategy is to make the polyester fiber, even though it is recycled product, it can, in terms of the quality, we can match virgin plastic based fiber. That is our focus. So we want to, as well as even the customers are into recycled products, the quality has to come together. And that's what we're focusing on. So thankfully, our customers globally and locally, they value our products in terms of the quality.
Okay.
I hope I answered the question properly.
Yes, sir. And also, I'm also curious, what's the process to recycle from the plastic bottle, plastic waste to the end of product? Can you explain us how the recycle process of the INOV product?
Sure. You can actually see more detailed process in our YouTube, Inocycle YouTube, but I'll just show you in a short version. So basically, the bottle will be coming like this in trucks, in bales, all over the country. And we process this into small flakes, as I showed to you before.
Yeah.
And then this goes to a hopper, and then we extrude them with the heat. We have to dry them to maintain certain moisture, and we dry them, and we melt them into this, we call it polyester strap fiber, right? So I don't know whether you can see.
Yes.
So that is basically, I'm just generalizing more complicated process, but you can see that on our YouTube video.
Yeah, yeah. How about the bottle cap? Is it included in the process?
Can you come again?
How about the bottle cap?
Oh, bottle cap. Oh, bottle cap.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You mean glass?
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually based on polypropylene. I know Indonesia has a huge consumption of PP-based containers.
Yes.
Currently, we don't recycle them, but it is still under our pipeline. It's at planning stage.
Okay. So it's still not able to be produced first, to be recycled for
Maybe
currently.
next time I meet you, maybe we are doing it already.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And for you guys who would like to support INOV for doing all of this kind of business, you can buy the stocks INOV in our application in Spot New Generation. If you still don't have the application of Spot New Generation, you still not yet open the account with Sucor Sekuritas, you can open account with us in this link below, eform.sucorsekuritas.com. Nah, we will open the second question from you guys. So the first question I will choose ya. Yeah, it's a good question from I'm Red Apple 22. You will get the pillow from Inocycle. Do INOV have community program to raise awareness about plastic waste and any plan to recycle, such as medical masks? Because currently a lot of medical masks, a lot of masks that used in Indonesia because of COVID-19. Do you have plan for it?
That's actually a very good question. Community program, Inocycle at inception of IPO, we have invested a community-based app called Plastic Pay. Currently, it's only running in Tangerang area. So basically, it is an app that rewards people who are collecting PET bottles. So we are focusing on community-based, such as residential area, place of worship, education. So immediately when you collect, you bring the bottles to our bin, you will be rewarded with points, which you can further you can change it into plastic pay points, and further you can be e-money as well. So this initiative is to help in terms of supply chain, traditional supply chain of waste that we have that is coming from waste pickers, going to aggregator 1, aggregator 2. It's slightly not efficient currently, but we are trying to raise public awareness by giving them e-money who are doing the right thing, basically. That's what we are doing in terms of the community program.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. Well, I think I missed the second question. Sorry.
The second question is about the medical mask.
Oh, medical mask. Okay.
Yes, medical mask.
Actually, I wrote it here. It's we are selling under the brand of InnoMask. This is the product that we are selling. You can find it in different marketplace. So we have been producing this since the pandemic started, and there was a non-woven layer inside the mask called melt blown. Currently, melt blown demand is very strong in terms of capex in this year. So we are producing mask currently.
How about to recycle the mask? Do you plan to be able to recycle the mask from all of masks that used by Indonesian people because of this COVID-19?
I think current technology doesn't allow us to recycle disposable masks, but that would be a good idea. I'll take the note of it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. Hopefully, we can help the government to protect our environment through recycling of medical mask as well. And the next question I will choose from Johan 102300. It's about COVID condition. In COVID-19 condition, what is defensive strategy that will INOV do for sustainability the business?
Bernard, can you help me? Is this more governance question or in terms of the business operation?
About the business operation.
Oh, business operation, which I have already touched base on it. In COVID, in terms of be more sustainable, we have to focus more on the supply chain, which means we have to work together very closely with the aggregators and raising more public awareness of how valuable the PET waste bottles are. That is a one thing. And also, as I said before, we need to go into more smaller cities in terms of the collection, waste processing in a smaller cities where if there's no demand to collect these products, it will definitely be thrown away to the river stream. So I think during COVID-19 period, it is very important that we invest heavily on the supply chain. Otherwise, the supply chain will not survive. Luckily, we are running at full capacity at the moment. Strategy for Bernard?
Okay. Maybe your connection is not that good, but hopefully it's clear for you guys about the question before. And then the next question. We are from Sucor Sekuritas, also will give you the souvenir from us. That is face sheet. That is for Sucor Sekuritas. So everyone from you, I will give you 2 face shield from Sucor Sekuritas, and you will be part of us. And then the fourth question that you will get this face sheet from Susanti Suwarno. It's a good question as well. How do you collect the PET bottle? Cleaning and sanitizing the waste of bottle before you proceed it.
Currently, we are still relying on traditional method of collecting. We don't really collect the bottles by ourselves, except our initiative in Plastic Pay. We are, as I said, we are relying on the current supply chain, that is aggregators. So once we collect the bottles, we do our cleaning and crushing ourselves. One thing that you can notice is we are audited in terms of waste water treatment facilities every year to be in line with the international environmental laws and regulations, which we are quite proud of. If you have a chance, we can show more in terms of our infrastructure, in terms of wastewater treatment as well. I think that's what the question was, I believe. I think there's a lag.
Yes, there's a lag, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question for Pak Victor. You also will get the face sheet from Sucor Sekuritas. The question is from Nick MK. Are you planning to expand more type, not only just PT, but maybe SDP or PVC for recycling the product? So it can help government to reduce Anyways.
Okay. Inocycle is coming from polyester DNA. As I said in the beginning of the interview, we've been around for 50 years just focusing on polyester products.
Yes.
That's why PET has been our choice of material. But during the interview, we talked about glass that is made of polypropylene. I think that would be our immediate pivot recycle plan. So not only PET, I think most probable material would be PP. I know it is a big concern, especially for LDP products. That's basically single-use plastics. I think we need more support from in terms of the government. Because LDP value is so low, it is very challenging to recycle, especially for LDP or PVC as well. But I think when we look at more developed countries, there's a proper government support, subsidies, government grant, and I think it can be done along with support from the government.
Yes, yeah, we do hope so. Hopefully, government also support enough to doing the good deeds for people, for the environment, to recycle many plastic bottles, specifically from PT for country. And for your information, guys, on last April, INOV already get the certification from ESG, from Planet Mark UK. Planet Mark UK is also give certification to Softtech. So the certification is very good for the INOV company and for the branding of the product. And before we close this event, I would like to ask you a question. What's your vision mission for the future until 3 years to go to build INOV, not only for the environment purpose, but also to make the business is going stronger and more profitable?
I mean, our business is relying on waste plastic, that's for sure. But what we are striving on is to produce key raw materials for the key industries that Indonesia has. So we are basically, as I said, we are only recycling about 15% maximum of what we potentially become a large problem of pollution. We still have a huge upside. I think we need more public awareness in terms of collecting the bottles, do the right thing, and put it in the right supply chain. I think our long-term vision would be in order we need to bring more demand in every single cities in Indonesia, be able to produce and process non-woven products, and prolong the life cycle of these plastic bottles. I know there are other models that such as circular economy model where bottle turns to a bottle, but I think it's also a good initiative where as long as you try to increase the life cycle of the bottle and also increase employment and producing export products, I think that is very good. And also for the country and for the company as well. I think that's what we are striving on, expanding into smaller cities, and hopefully we increase the recycling rate as well as reducing the pollution.
Yes, hopefully. And do you have any last statement to all of us, Sucor troopers, how we contribute to save this environment as well, to save this country, and also what should we do during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, that's a very big question. I think what I heard from Sucor today, a lot of viewers are millennials. I think we should be more conscious of what we buy. We don't need to buy we need to be able to see the footprint of the products, where if it's a recycle, you're ready to pay a little bit more, or it's not as comfortable as a new product to accept. But I think it is a great initiative. You buy once, you use longer, and also when you buy, if it's coming from the ethical supply chain, I think you should value that product more. That would be my last statement.
Wow, that's really great. Let us give applause to Mr. Victor Choi, who already give the event with us tonight. And also there is one suggestion from one of our member. Do you plan to build like community to save this country, to promote your product as well, to save the environment?
Well, we'll take the baby steps, put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us, and what's your blueprint to make this community bigger and bigger?
I hope so. I mean, as I said before, the plastic pay would be a great initiative that everyone can participate. But unfortunately, it's only available in Tangerang area. But hopefully, we can expand to every single cities in Indonesia. So once we are ready, please do the right thing of recycling properly, and so we can reduce the carbon footprint.
Yes, and also Mr. Victor, after COVID, let's do it together with our community, Sucor Troopers. We have almost 4,000 communities in our Sucor Troopers, and we can do collaboration together to save this country through the community of plastic pay. Hopefully, after COVID-19, we can do collaboration to make campaign for save the environment and go green.
Thank you, Bernard.
Yeah. One more time, we would like to say thank you to you, Mr. Victor Choi, and to INOV, who already helped to save the environment from the plastic bottles, and also to all of you guys who already really believe in this company and would like to invest in this company. Let's buy in the stock that is INOV. You can buy in spot generation, and you can register through eform.sucorsekuritas.com. Okay, Mr. Victor, thank you so much for your time, and good night. Stay safe and stay healthy. And see you soon, Mr. Victor. See you.
Thank you for having me, Bernard.
Yes,
See you next time.
See you. Yeah.
감사합니다.